Saturn is often called the most beautiful planet in the solar system, a pale golden world surrounded by vast, luminous rings, suspended silently in space. From a distance, it appears calm, almost delicate. But Saturn is anything but gentle. This is a giant planet, more than 9 times wider than Earth, made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium. A world with no solid surface to stand on, where pressure increases endlessly as you descend, and where storms can rage for years without stopping. Saturn formed early in the solar system's history, more than 4 billion years ago. As the young sun ignited, Saturn grew rapidly, pulling in enormous amounts of gas from the surrounding disk. It never became massive enough to ignite nuclear fusion like a star, but it became one of the dominant architects of the outer solar system. Despite its enormous size, Saturn is surprisingly light for a planet its scale. It is the least dense planet in the solar system, so low in density that, in theory, it could float in water. Of course, no ocean could ever be large enough to hold it. Saturn exists on a scale far beyond anything familiar on Earth. What truly sets Saturn apart are its rings. Stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers across, yet only tens of meters thick in places, Saturn's rings are among the most extreme structures in the solar system. They are not solid bands, but countless fragments of ice and rock. Some no larger than grains of dust, others as big as mountains, each locked in orbit around the planet. For centuries, astronomers wondered how the rings formed. Were they remnants of a shattered moon, or material left over from Saturn's birth? Today, evidence suggests the rings may be surprisingly young, perhaps only a few 100 million years old. Recent simulations from NASA and Durham University suggest a dramatic origin. Saturn's rings, and even some of its icy moons, may have formed after a massive collision between 2 orbiting moons. The impact shattered both bodies, spreading vast amounts of ice into orbit, while surviving material later reassembled into new moons. What we see today may be the aftermath of a single violent event. And they are not permanent. Saturn's gravity is slowly pulling the rings inward in a process known as ring rain. Streams of icy particles fall from the rings into the planet's atmosphere, thinning them over time. At this rate, Saturn's iconic rings may largely disappear within the next 100 million years. A brief moment on cosmic timescales. What we see today may be Saturn at its most beautiful and its most temporary. Beneath the rings lies a turbulent atmosphere. Saturn's clouds form subtle bands of gold, beige, and white, hiding winds that can reach speeds of over 1,800 kilometers per hour. Storms can grow large enough to wrap around the entire planet, erupting periodically and then fading away over months or even years. At Saturn's North Pole, something truly strange appears. A vast, 6-sided jet stream, perfectly shaped like a hexagon. It has persisted for decades, locked in place by Saturn's rotation and atmospheric dynamics. No other planet displays anything quite like it. But Saturn's story doesn't end with the planet itself. Orbiting this giant world is a vast family of moons, more than 140 known so far, each one a world of its own. Among them are some of the most intriguing places we've ever discovered. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is larger than the planet Mercury and wrapped in a thick orange haze. Beneath its clouds lie rivers, lakes, and seas, not of water, but of liquid methane and ethane. Titan is one of the few places in the solar system with active weather cycles, and its chemistry may resemble the conditions that existed on early Earth before life began. Titan is so compelling that it will soon become the destination of a dedicated mission. NASA's Dragonfly mission, scheduled to arrive in the 2030s, will send a nuclear-powered drone to fly through Titan's thick atmosphere. Dragonfly will hop from location to location, analyzing organic chemistry, studying surface processes, and searching for clues about how life might begin. It will be the first time a flying vehicle explores another moon, turning Titan from a distant mystery into a world we can actively explore. Then there is Enceladus, a small, icy moon that changed everything we thought we knew. From fractures near its south pole, Enceladus ejects towering plumes of water vapor and ice into space. Beneath its frozen surface lies a global ocean, kept warm by tidal forces from Saturn. Where there is liquid water, energy, and chemistry, the possibility of life cannot be ignored. Enceladus is not silent. During close flybys, NASA's Cassini spacecraft passed directly through these plumes, flying through material erupting from the moon's interior. What you're hearing is real. This sound is spacecraft data converted into audio, recorded as Cassini encountered particles from an ocean hidden beneath the ice. Each rise and fall marks changes in density as the spacecraft passed through streams of water and ice escaping into space. In that moment, Enceladus stopped being just a frozen moon and became one of the most promising places to search for life beyond Earth. Our understanding of Saturn comes largely from one spacecraft, NASA's Cassini mission. Arrived at Saturn in 2004 and spent 13 years exploring the planet, its rings, and its moons. Cassini revealed the structure of the rings in unprecedented detail, mapped Titan's surface, flew through Enceladus's plumes, and transformed Saturn from a distant icon into a dynamic, evolving system. In 2017, Cassini made its final descent, diving between Saturn and its rings before plunging into the planet's atmosphere. A deliberate end designed to protect Saturn's moons from contamination. It was the conclusion of one of the most successful planetary missions in history. Saturn matters because it helps us understand how planetary systems form and evolve. Its rings offer a glimpse into the processes that shape disks of material around stars. Its moons challenge our ideas of where life might exist, and its sheer presence influences the structure of the outer solar system itself. Saturn is a planet of contrasts: fragile rings orbiting an immense giant, serene colors masking violent storms, frozen moons hiding warm oceans below. It is beautiful, complex, and constantly changing. And as it continues its slow journey around the sun, Saturn reminds us that even the most graceful worlds are shaped by powerful forces, written not just in beauty, but in motion, gravity, and time. Rings fade, moons evolve, and new worlds reveal themselves only when we choose to explore. Thanks for watching and helping the channel grow. New space stories arrive once or twice a week. See you in the next video.